I welcome you to this video. In this video, we are going to carry out the modeling of this structure on Prota structure, and we are going to be using Autocad for the general arrangement, and also we are going to import this drawing to Prota structure for structural model. Okay, if you look at my screen now, you see that I have a drawing here sent to me by an architect. This is exactly how the drawing was sent to me, a DWG file. Okay, and we are to perform the general arrangement. And if you look at this drawing very well, you see that I already have some grids on this drawing. If you look at it very well, I have some grids. Okay, and also I have the ground floor plan. It's a two suspended floor. I have the first floor plan. Okay, I have the second floor plan, as you can see. Okay, and this is just the roof plan. Can you see? These are the elevations. Can you see that? Okay, so to carry out your general arrangement now, the first thing you have to do firstly is to copy the drawing sent to you by an architect. Okay, you are not meant to touch the drawing sent to you. All you just need to do is to copy it, you duplicate it, then you work on the one you duplicate. Okay, this is just because should in case you need to check anything. So by the time you tamper with the one the architect sent, definitely you miss the file totally. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, and also note that to carry out your general arrangement, you have to carry out your general arrangement from your ground floor plan. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll copy this file, I'll copy this ground floor. Okay, I'll copy it, then you go to this home here and you click on copy. Okay, then you copy this file and place it here. Okay, can you see that? Another thing is that if you look critically, you see that you look at your floor plan and see if there is any difference, or maybe there is a point where the building have a particular cantilever. You are meant to place your first floor on your ground floor or your second floor on your first floor to know how the building has the cantilever and to know how you are going to run your general arrangement. But if you look at this building very well, you see that they have the same shape. Okay, they have the same shape, only this ground floor plan is a bit different from this first floor from this point. Okay, if you look at this staircase area, you see a recess from this point, you see another recess from this point. Okay, but if you look at the rest, you see that they are all the same thing. Okay, so all you just need to do is to model this shape out. You model this shape out from your ground floor, and as you can see, we already have a grid for that. Can you see that? Okay, now we have copied our ground floor. We can also copy this first floor. Okay, you hit on copy, and you copy it to this point. Okay, original, because your first floor and your second floor is exactly the same thing, as you can see that. Can you see? Okay, so once I finish copying my drawing this way, the next thing I'm going to do is to delete all these furnitures and dimensions here, because I want to have a clearer view. Okay, I need to delete all that. So what I'm going to do now is I will select all these dimensions here and I will delete them, but I will make sure I did not delete one thing, which is the grid line. Okay, so I will select all these and start deleting them one after the other. Okay, I will delete them one after the other. Start deleting them one after the other. This video may be a bit too long, but I advise you follow it one after the other so that you can understand this part. Can you see what I'm saying now? I just deleted something here which I would like to use in my model. Let me see. Okay, because of this span area here, I would like to use this wall as the demarcation. I would like to use this span. Okay, but let me select this one from here and hit on delete. Okay, this is the one I'm talking about. Then let me continue deleting all these. So once you delete anything, you still have your original drawing there to go and check. Okay, I can still continue deleting since I have my original wall. Then I will look at where I need my general arrangements most. It's just to delete the panel, is not a main wall there or a major wall. Okay, so let's delete all this. Let's make it faster. Make sure you did not delete your axis or your grid lines. It's very important. Once you delete it, you have messed it up. Okay, so let me delete this one. I don't need all this here. I don't need all this. I'll delete it. I'll delete this one. Okay, select this one and delete it. Okay, and I'll also select this one and delete it. Okay, that's how you keep deleting all the furniture's dimensions in the drawing. Okay, because you need a clearer view in your general arrangement. All you just need to work on is your structural elements, and you don't have any concern regarding all this. Okay, you need your walls, so you start deleting. You make sure you delete everything. Okay, delete this, you don't need this, delete this. Okay, I don't need all these dimension here. You delete them. Select this one also and delete it. Select this one and also delete. Okay, select this one and also delete it. Okay, delete all these dimensions. So can you see we have deleted a grid line here? Okay, can you see that my grid B is not having a grid again? Can you see that? So you have to take note of that. I'm going to correct that. Assuming we've used the original file now, that is how we are going to miss that information, except we start clicking on Ctrl Z till we get to that point again. Okay, so you delete all this, select this one and delete it, delete all this, delete this. Okay, delete this. Okay, let's delete all this. The CAD file used for this design will be sent to the platform for all my paid students. Okay, if you want to join our training, you can send a DM and we allow you to join our training. Our mentorship training is very, very affordable. Okay, so you can do yourself a good favor by joining the mentorship program. Okay, how to carry out your general arrangements for structural elements. Okay, you delete all this, you don't need them. Delete this. Okay, make sure you delete them one after the other. Let's delete this. Okay, delete this. Okay, let's delete this one. We don't need this wall. The walls we need here is just the major wall. I don't need this wall. Okay, I don't need all this dimension here. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I'll select this one and delete it as well. Okay, let's delete this. Delete this one. Okay, delete this one. Delete all this dimension. Okay, let me delete all these furnitures. Okay, let me select this one. I'll also delete it. Kindly do yourself a favor. You need to develop your skills as a young engineer. Okay, it's very important. Either you are an engineer or you are an architect. Okay, as you can see, we have successfully deleted all what we don't need here. Okay, and now we have mistakenly deleted a grid here, which is our grid B. So let's go back to our original file here now. Let's select this particular line, then we'll copy it from a base point. Okay, let's try and copy it from a base point. Once you select it, you right click and say copy and say clipboard. Okay, you go to copy with base point, then you can copy it from this point. Let's use this as a reference point. Okay, then you go to this original file and go to the exact place. Let me see. I want to make sure this is my exact point. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see if we have not. I think we have deleted this point that is the exact point here. Okay, can you see we've deleted it? So we need to select another point. Okay, let's select another point. You select the grid, select this grid, right click and say copy with base point. Then let's select this grid C here. Okay, let's select this grid C. You must make sure it's the same point you want to copy from. Okay, let's select this. Okay, then let's go to grid C at this point. Okay, then let's paste it here. Then you say paste and you paste it at this point. So let's see, can you see that? Can you see? Okay, if you want to confirm now if it snapped to the center of this wall, all you need to do is to go to, let me just quickly go to my annotate. I'll go to annotate dimension. Okay, and I'll pick my dimension from here. I'll pick it to this point. Can you see? Can you see that? Continue. Can you see that? Okay. Can you see? This has already shown me that my grid is snapped to the center. Okay. Now that we have successfully recovered the missing grid back, all you need to do now is to look at your drawing and look at where you need another drawing or another general element, rather another structural element. But before we do that, I would like to extend some walls that I know I'm going to be using for this design. Okay, I'll click on extend. Just type extend on your keyboard. You click on enter. You click on enter again. Then you extend all this wall. Okay, you extend them this way. You extend the walls that you are going to use for your general arrangement. Okay, I would like to use this one. I will also like to use this one. Okay, you extend them and connect them together. I would like to use this one. I will use this one. That one is not going there. Okay, you extend them this way. Okay, can you see that? This is an artwork here, so you don't need this. Okay, you need the main wall. Okay, so you go to this point again, you extend all this wall, you extend the wall. All you just need there is the wall. Okay, you can only leave the window there to know that there is a window there. Okay, as far as you are still working on Autocad here, you know that okay, this is a window. Okay, even if you are using your hard copy and you want to go straight to the Proto structure, already you should know that okay, there is a window here. Okay, make sure you don't do mistake on your general arrangement. This is an opening. As you can see how large it is, it's an opening. Okay, it's an opening. I will only be extending the wall and the window will still be there, or the opening will still be there till I place all my columns. Okay, you make sure you don't place a column where there is an opening or there is an entrance. But if you feel okay, it is very important for you to have your structural element there, then you need to contact your architect that can you or can he adjust any column, okay, for you, or any window rather. Then you work hand in hand together with the architect, okay. Then I will also extend, or let me see, I can also extend this. Let me extend all this. It depends on your general arrangement, as I've said, okay. Then let me also let me see, at this point, let me leave this, let me extend this one, I will extend this one, okay. Then this particular wall here, I don't need this inner wall, okay. Then let me extend this one, I will extend this is just a 150 mm wall, but I need that grid here. I will extend this one and connect them together, okay. Which of the wall again do I need? Which of the wall again do I need? Okay, let me see. Then let me select this particular one here and delete it, okay. Then I will connect this wall here together, so I will delete this one as well, okay. Then I can select these inner ones I did and delete it, I don't need them, okay. Select all this one, I will delete them, sorry, Ctrl Z. I need only this, I don't need only this one, okay. Then I will also select this one and delete it. Select this one and delete it. Select this one, okay. Sorry, Ctrl Z again. Can you see that? Now we need to extend this wall, okay. Select this one and delete it. Select this one and delete it, okay. Now you can delete this artwork so that you won't get confused, okay. You don't need artwork. Okay, let me see, this is an artwork line, can you see that? This is an artwork line, okay. This is an artwork, can you see? It's an artwork line. You don't need this here. All you are concerned with is your structural element, okay. But make sure, as you are also working on your general arrangement, you don't tamper anything that has to do with the architectural model, either the openings, okay. So let me type my extend command again. I will hit on enter, okay, and I will extend this wall this way. You extend it down, okay. Extend it down, connect it to this one here, okay. Then okay, let's extend this one as well, okay. Then I can extend this particular one here. I will extend this one, I'll connect this one this way, okay. Okay, I will also extend this one. I will also extend this particular one here. Let me extend this one. Let me extend this one, okay. Extend this particular one as well, okay. Can you see that? Extend this one here, extend this one, okay. Right click and say repeat extend. Extend this particular one, okay. Let me see, extend this one, okay. You extend this one as well. Then let me extend this one, okay. Extend this one, okay. Let me see what else. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to trim all this inner one. I will select it and trim it. Let me select this one. As you can see, I cannot trim down on there. I can even choose to leave down on there, okay. Doesn't matter, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to look at my first floor and look at where I have a cantilever, okay. So let's quickly delete this first floor. Then we'll place our first floor on our ground floor, okay. I'll delete all this. I'll select all this and delete it, okay. I'll select all this and I will delete it, okay. Make sure Can you see? Select them and delete the same process. Okay, this is just to confirm if you have anything like a cantilever. It's very important. Okay, select all these and delete them. Okay, delete all these. Okay, delete all these. Okay, delete this. Okay, let me delete this one. Okay, let me delete all this. Delete all this one. Delete this one. Okay, then you delete all this one so that we can have a clearer view. If you did not delete this, you won't have a clearer view. Okay, the architect has done his own work and he has done a perfect job. So for you to have a clearer view, you need to delete all this. Okay, select this one and delete it. We are going to be working with this file. Okay, if you need this file, you can contact me, send a DM. Okay, I'm going to give you the CAD file for an affordable price. So you select all this one and delete them. Delete all this. Okay, as usual, to delete all this. Make sure you are not deleting the words that you are going to use for your general arrangement. Okay, I don't need all this. I don't need this. As you can see, I retain my grid line, the architectural grid line. Not that I can't create my own grid line, okay, but you have to work along with your, or not that I can't create my own structural grid line. No, don't tamper with the architectural grid line, as I've said. Okay, continue deleting. Okay, delete all these, you don't need them. Delete this. It is you that will now know that, okay, oh, there is an entrance here. That is why you must not tamper with the original file. Okay, if you tamper with the original file, it means you have to contact or re-download the original file. Okay, that is even if you have ways of re-downloading it or recovering it. But if you don't have any ways of doing that and you've tampered with it, then it means you have just done a mess. Okay, select this one and delete it. So let's delete all these dimensions. Delete all these dimensions. Okay, delete all these. Delete this. Select this and delete it. Okay, delete all this. Okay, delete all what you don't need. Okay, so you select this one and also delete it. I don't need this. Okay, so select this one and also delete it. Okay, so let me select this point. I hope we have not tampered with any grid from these three. Let me see. Okay, two, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you see that? Okay, so what we are going to do now is I will select this and Once I select it, I'll type block on my keyboard, okay, and I'll block all this. I can just give it a name, TR, okay, and I'll click on OK. So by the time you select this file now, it's going to act as a single file, okay. Can you see we have also deleted a grid line here, okay. This is exactly what I'm saying. We have deleted the grid line at this point, okay. This same B grid line, okay. So just go to this point now and select this grid line, right click and say copy with clipboard, okay. Now copy under clipboard, you use copy with base point, then you pick this from this let me see, I always want to pick from a very good point. You can pick it from this point here, okay. Then you go to this point and you also paste it back at that same point, okay. You right click and say under this clipboard and say paste, then you paste it at this point, okay. Then you paste it, then you have your grid back, okay. If you look at it, you see that it's snapping at the center of the wall. Select this one and hit on delete. Oh, sorry, the wall is still selected. Select this one and hit on delete. Okay, we have blocked this file. So this one now is not blocked, so we need to redo the process. You hit on block again, okay. You hit on enter, then you can give it any name, okay. Then you click on OK. Then if you click on it now, you see that they are acting as same file. Then what I'm going to do is I will select it. Once I select it, then I'll go to my layer. Let me go to the home tab and I will change this layer totally to something that is different from the ground floor, so that if I place them, I'll be able to see the difference, okay. I can use any layer here that will be visible. Let me change it to this green, okay. Oh, we need to explode. If you remember, we actually block it twice, okay. Now we have successfully exploded. Then select it again, you go to this home and you go to your layers, you change it to this green, okay. As you can see, we have successfully changed it to green here, okay, so that by the time you place it on this one, you'll be able to see the difference, okay. So you select this one now. Once you select it, you can now type your block on your keyboard, okay. You hit on enter, okay. Then you give it any name, then you click on OK. Then once you block it this way, then you select this file, you say copy with, just copy. You don't need to pick it, and you can also pick it, you can also copy it, or you move it. Let me use move, or you can use copy. Let's just use copy with base point, okay. You copy it with base point, then you go to this grid D, okay. You copy it from here. Normally, whenever we want to copy, we always consider a staircase area where we know we don't have much changes, okay. Or let me select another point. Let me use this point. Let me see. I will use this point because we did not delete all this artwork here, so I'm looking for a perfect point, okay. Let me use my grid C. I'll right click and say copy with base point, okay. Then I'll copy with base point and I'll use this C here, okay. I'll select this angle. Then if I go to this point now, I will right click and say paste, okay. I will say paste and I'll place it at this point, okay. Can you see? Let me see. It means, let me paste it here, okay. And as you can see, if you look at it very well, you see that all these wall match together. Can you see? Because you cannot see the green line, you can't see all this green line, okay. Let's look at this one. This particular one is not a wall. Let's go to our first floor. Let's go to our first floor. On this C, this particular wall here, I want to show you these traces, okay. Okay, if you look at it, this is not a wall. Can you see that? It's not a wall, okay. That is why you are having this at this edge, okay. So you can neglect that. This is not a wall. This is your major wall here. And if you go to this point, you see that you can't see that wall. You can see that there is a green line sitting on top of your white, okay, which means our work is perfect. So if you look at all this drawing critically now, you see that the only extension we have here is just this particular one here, okay. Is this one here, and this particular one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will just go to this ground floor plan, okay, and I will select the same grid. Can you see? I will check the layers they use here, which is wall. Can you see that? Then I will go to my I will go to my layer now. Okay, let me go to my layer and I will choose that same layer. I will set it to wall. Let's search for the wall, the layer wall. Okay, I'll set it to this wall. Then I'll pick my line tool and I'll draw a line exactly the way it is here. Okay, I'll draw this line to trace that out. Okay, I'll draw this line here. Okay, I'll select this line again and I'll trace it out this way. Okay, let me trace it out to show, they're trying to show the cantilever at that point. Trying to show the cantilever. Okay, can you see that? Then you do the same thing for this other hand too. You click on your line, you pick it from here, you draw it to this point, you draw it to this point, you draw it to this point, you draw it this way, and you draw it this way. Okay, that is the cantilever there. Then you can now move the one you place on it, select it, and hit on move. You can move it, or you can even delete it because you copy it, so you select your delete on your keyboard. Okay, so by the time you check your drawing now, you still have that trace line there. Okay, so the next thing you have to look at now is you look at your grid lines. Okay, you look at the grid lines. If your grid lines is actually complete the way it is here. Okay, so if you want to select this grid line now, what you can do is you can select this O1, select this, all this one here. Okay, you can delete them, select this one and hit on delete. Okay, once you delete it, then you come to this point, except if the architect has put a grid line that is not on that ground floor on this point, and it's not possible like that. Grid line is always from ground floor to first floor. They still maintain the grid line. So let's explode this. You hit on enter. Okay, once you explode it, so that you can be able to select all this grid line, I think we still need to explode it once. Select it, explode, you hit on enter. Okay, let me select it now. We are still unable to explode that. Explode. Okay, we are actually typing on extend, so let's hit on explode now. As you can see, I've successfully exploded. So I will select this one now. I will select all this. Okay, I will select all this. Okay, can you see we have successfully selected all the grids? Okay, then what I will do is I will pick a point the same way we do for the other one. I will right click and say copy with base point, and I will copy with this base point. I will use my C. Okay, I will use my grid C, and if I like, I can use this grid D now. Okay, if you look at this point, okay, let's see, let's use this point, grid D. You use this angle. Okay, let's use this angle. Then you go to this point and you right click and say paste under clipboard, and you paste it at this point. Okay, then you have all your grid line there. Okay, can you see that? Then you can select all this one, or you can use your trim, type TRIM. Okay, you hit on enter, then you trim all this, you trim it this way. I don't need this, I don't need this. Okay, can you see that? Then you can, let me see, trim again, or let me right click and say repeat trim, and I will trim this. Okay, let me trim all this. Then I will go to this point again, and I will trim this, and I will trim this. Okay, trim all this. Okay, as you can see, we are done with that. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I will extend this again, extend, I will hit on enter, then I will extend all this here. Okay, I can trim this one, I cannot trim it, should be able to trim that word there. Trim, enter, and I'll trim this here. Okay, trim this here, trim this here. Okay, let's have a network. Okay, trim this. Make sure you did not tamper with your architectural grid. Okay, you can see that I keep saying that. Okay, once you tamper with your grid, you have to go and recopy it again. Okay, so let me just extend this, or I'll just select this wall and I'll drag it and connect it to this point. Okay, then the next thing we are going to do is you select all this. Let me first change all this grid, or let me go to my, okay, I will select this grid and see under where they are. Okay, can you see? Because when we select this one, we place it under, we place them under grid, this grain layer. So whenever you want to do your general arrangement, you must make sure that all your grid is under the layer of grid, and that is when Portal Structure will recognize them as a grid line. So you select all this grid line now. Okay, you select all this, and make sure you set them under grid layer. Okay, it's very important. Okay, can you see this is grid? Okay, make sure they are set under grid layer. I'll place them under grid layer. Okay, it's very, very important. Or else, then I don't like this color. So I'll go to this my grid now. I'll select this grid, then I'll change the color. Let me change the color to something like this, or you can look for another very suitable grid. Okay. And you select all this. Okay, once you have changed it once you have changed your grid color, once you change your grid color, you see that once you select it this way, you see that what you have here is now the color. But what happened, it has not changed to this particular color. All you need to do now is to select all this. Okay, you select it this way, then you right click and go to properties. Okay, then you go to this color here and you select it, you click on the drop down and say by layer. Okay, once you click on by layer, everything will change automatically. As you can see, they have changed to grid automatically. So the next thing you have to do now, once you have set your grid to the layer, is to go to, you pick your rectangle tool. Is either you use your rectangle tool, okay? Is either you use your rectangle or you use your polyline, okay? Don't use your line. Use your rectangle, okay? Then you pick your rectangle tool this way, okay? Then you type 225 and you click on tab and you type 225 again and you hit on enter. Okay, as you can see, if we go to this annotate here and pick a dimension tool, if you pick your dimension from here, you see that the dimension is 225. Okay, you can also check it from this end to this end. See that we have 225 by 225 column. Okay, then you must make sure that your column is also set under column layer. Okay, then if you go to your layer, here, let me go to layer properties. Then I'll check if I have anything like column here. If you don't have anything like column, all you need to do is to click on, you can right click on any grid here, or any layer rather. Let me select this grid. I will right click and say let me say new layer. Okay, and it's going to allow me to create my new layer. I'll write column. Okay, then I'll hit on enter. Then this line thickness, this line weight here, I can select it and change it to, let me use 0.4. I'll click on OK. Okay, can you see that? Then if I select this one now, I'll change it to, or let me close this first. I'll select it and change it to the column I just created. This column, can you see that? Okay, so Portal Structure will automatically recognize this as a column layer. Okay, so once you are done creating your columns this way, as a structural engineer, there is something you need to know. when you are using 225 by 225 column, make sure that your column to column does not exceed 6 meters. Okay, it's very important. But as a young engineer, I always advise, or as a young structural engineer, I always advise that you stop within the range of 4.5. okay, that is very important. So what I'm going to do now is that I will start placing my columns to where I need it, or how I want my general arrangement to be. So I will select this column here, then I can use copy, then I will copy this column from here and I will place it at this edge. Okay, as you can see, since my wall here is just 225 by 225, the column match that angle or corner. Okay, then I will now do the one to select where I want all my column to be. In this design, I think I'm also going to need some 450 by 225 column. Okay, but let me continue placing all my columns where I want them to be first. Okay, let me see, I think I will need a column at this point. Okay, then I can place one at this corner. Okay, then I will look for another point that I know. Don't forget, I don't need a column at this edge, because if you look at our ground floor here, you see that if you place a column at this corner, it's not going to be on a wall. Okay, and we don't have anything from the architect that say we should have a wall here. Okay, on ground floor you can't put a column at that point. And make sure, if you remember, I explained some things in my past videos for you, that whenever you are modeling, if you use your ground floor plan, if you place a column, your column will project down to your ground floor. Like for instance, you are modeling, I told you that whenever you export any drawing or you start modeling on your portal structure, if you model on your story 1, it's going to project down to your ground floor. So you need to know that. It means if I place any column at this point now, it's going to project out on my ground floor, which is very bad, meaning I don't need a column at this point for now. Okay, the reason I will still place some column at this point, but with the particular point I pick my column from now, that's why I need to look for areas where I can easily use those column that can suit where I pick my column from for now. Okay, so let me put this down and I will copy it again from here. Let me copy it, let me pick it from this angle, then I will, okay, let me see. Or for easy use, what you are going to do is you pick a line, then you draw a line at this center, or at all point that you know you are going to need a column. You can draw a line at this center here. Then let me draw a line here. Let me pick my line. I will draw a line here, or I can draw a line from this point and stop it at this point. Okay, so that if I pick that column from this center now, I will be able to use this center. Then you draw a line at this point here. Let me draw a line here. I will locate the center of this column. I'll draw this line to this point. Okay, I'll pick a line again and I will draw a line to this point. Okay, then I can just group this. I will type block and I'll hit on enter. So that if you select, sorry, let me do that again, BLOCK, and I'll hit on enter. So I can just give it any name. Okay, you hit on enter again, or you hit on OK. So that if I select this now, there will be just one element. And I can now do what? I will select this now and I will do what? I will copy this and I can be able to select it from this center, as you can see. So that if I come to this center now, I will be able to place it easily. Can you see that? So what I just need to do now, okay, can you see what I'm saying now? Since I have a grid line at this center now, I will just continue to place them one after the other. Okay, then if I come to this point now, I will also place this at this center. Okay, then make sure you don't place a column where you don't need them. It's very important, make sure you don't do that. Okay, then let me locate another center where I'm going to be needing a column. I will place a column at this center. Okay, I'm coming back to this area. I will place a column at this center. Okay, can you see that? Can you see how very easy drawing a line at the center of that column is? Okay, it makes your work very easier. Then I want to use a 225 by 450 column at this point. Okay, then I'll go to this end again. I will also place a column let's see, I will place a column at this point. This is an entrance here, so I don't need a column here. I will place my column at this point. Let me zoom in. Okay, I will place a column at this point. Okay, then let me place a column here. Okay, then I will place a column at this point. I think I will need the 450 by 225 column here, so I will draw that. Okay, I will sketch that column out. Then on my grid C as well, I need a column at this point. Okay, let me see, let me place a column at this point. Okay, that's fine. I will also need some additional grids. So if an architect gives you a drawing and you are not okay yet with the grid line, you can easily create your own structural grid again. Okay, I also need a column at this point. I'm trying to make sure that this video is not too long, but for better understanding, I need to take it a bit. Okay, let me place a column here. Let me place another column at this point. Okay, make sure all those columns snap at the center where you need them. Then I'll also place a column at this point. Okay, then let me check this angle. I said I need a 225 by 450 column. Okay, let me see. Let's look around. Okay, I need a grid line here. I need a 225 by 450 column here. Okay, that is according to my own structural arrangement. Okay, that is where I felt my columns will be perfect for me. Okay, so let me create some grid. I want to create another grid at between C to D. Okay, which is going to be, and I'm going to label the grid as C prime. So what I'm going to do is, according to this drawing, if you look at our architectural drawing, you see that this is an opening. Okay, I just want to use, and the distance is 5,300. Okay, from here to this point. Okay, but for me, I would like to divide this panel and make this place and this place two panel, and also make this place and this place another two panel. Okay, because I think, or for a safe design, I would like to divide this panel into two. So what I'm going to do is I will go to my annotate. If I go to my annotate now and I will select this dimension tool, I will measure from this center to this center. Okay, I've already seen that this is 5,527 mm. Then I will pick my calculator now. Okay, once I pick my calculator, I will say 5527. Okay, divided by 2 equals to 2.763. Okay, I can decide to use 2.5 and I can decide to use 2.76 only. Okay, but let me just use 2.7. Doesn't matter. Okay, because I just want to divide the panel. So I will select this grid now. Once I select it, I will click on offset. Okay, and I'll click on enter. Okay, then I'll type 2,700. Okay, and I'll hit on enter, and I will offset this to this point by 2,700. Okay, then I can select this, or I can even leave that label there. So this will allow me to create a column or a beam at any point where I want to use them. So I can select this column now, and I will say copy. Let me copy, and I'll pick it at this center now. So if you go to this point, you will be able to place that column here. Okay, and also you can also create your beam or wall line to show that you have a beam there. You go to your line. Once you go to your line, then you can draw a line from this point and take it to this point. And you see that you take another one from here, line again, you take it from this point. Make sure you snap to the edge of the column. You take it from here, or you can also offset the one you've done before. Okay, or now as it is now, I can use extend, or I can also take this line and drag it down, or still you select repeat line. There are so many ways you can use. You select it and drag it down. Okay, then you select your line again, repeat line, and take your line from here and take it to this point. As you can see, I've easily divided these 2 panels before to 4 panels. I can label this one now as panel 1, this one as panel 2, this one as panel 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. Okay, but also I would also like to divide this panel into 2. Okay, I would like to divide it into 2. Okay, this one has already been divided, which I love it this way. So, but they don't have a grid here. So what I'm going to do is I will measure this center. I will go to my annotate, measure this point again. I will measure it from here to this point. Oh, I need to snap the center of this one to locate the center. So to locate that center now, I will just pick my line, and I will draw a line from this point to this point. Okay, so that if I take my line now, or if I take my, let me use my annotate now, dimension, you'll be able to snap the center of this wall here. Okay, can you see that logic? Then you pick it to this edge, and you'll be able to easily locate the center of the wall, or to measure the center of the wall. Okay, this is 1688. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I will offset this center now, or this grid line, to 1688. So I will type offset on your keyboard, or you can easily go to your home and look for your offset, but I will type offset. You can easily use your command offset. Okay, you hit on enter, then 1688. I hope you don't forget that, 1688, and I will hit on it. Okay, and if you look at it automatically, this is 1688, is exactly at the center of this wall. Okay, and I will left click on it. Okay, this is 150 by 225 mm wall, but because I just want to use that point for my beam, just to divide this panel, that is why I don't mind that. And remember that my beam is going to project out, and because of the height of the building, is going to be inside the ceiling. Okay, so I don't really have any issue with that. Okay, then since I've already gotten the center point now, all I will just do now is to pick my column again. Let me use the one I have done. I will just pick it. I can say copy again. I will pick it from this point. Okay, and I will place it at this point. Okay, if I place it at this point here, you will see that I have a window here. So if I place it at this point, it means, or if I place it like this, it means I'm totally wrong, because it's going to project out and affect the window dimension. So don't do that. All you need to do is you select it. Once you select it, then you pick it again. Let me use my move tool this time around. I will move it, and I will place it at this edge. So automatically, if you want to model your column, or if you export this one, this column will be exactly the way it is now and will not snap to the center. Okay, so I will select this one now, and I will click on copy again, and I will start copying this to wherever I know is going to be useful for me. So I can have a column at this point. Okay, the whole of this one is a wall, so I don't have any problem if that one is at the center. Okay, so I will also go to any other point where I know is going to be useful. This is my staircase area, and this is a full wall, so I will need it at this point. Okay, you should know that it's because we have a grid line here now. That is why we can easily place our column at the center of this wall. Okay, and this grid line now is called structural grid, and they are not architectural grid anymore, because it doesn't have any usefulness in our in our architectural drawing. It is only useful on our structural element. Okay, but because we don't want to tamper with the can you see this one actually want to snap to the window, which I don't want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I will place it, and I will move it. Now I will move it from here, and I will move it to this angle. Okay, so as I was saying, the grid doesn't have any usefulness on our architectural. It is only useful on our structural. But because we don't want to tamper with the architectural grid, that is why we have to create another grid entirely. Okay, so I would like to also divide this panel. I will divide this panel. So what I'm going to do is I will go to my drawing here. Okay, I want to use this wall. I want to use the center of this wall. All I need to do is to pick my dimension tool. I will look for a way to locate the center of this wall first. Let me measure this wall. I will go to annotate. Okay, let me go to my annotate. So I will draw a line from here to this point. Okay, as you can see, this is also 150 mm wall. So what I'm going to do is I will draw a line. Let me go to line. You can also use your line. You can also use your command for your line. So let me snap this point and draw a line here, 150. Okay, you may not see it, but by the time you come to, or let me see how we can easily do that. Okay, let's pick our dimension tool now. I'll go to my annotate and I'll pick my dimension and I will locate the wall. Can you see? This is the center of that wall, the center of the line I just created, and I'll go to the center of this one. Okay, this is also 1988. Okay, this is the center of the wall. Okay, and I would like to have a grid at that point. This is 1988. Don't forget that. Okay, and I'll go to my general arrangement now and I'll pick, oh, let me see, where do we measure it from? This should be from grid 2, right? 1988 from grid 2. Okay, then we'll go to our grid 2 on our general arrangement. We offset this one. You select the line and type offset on your keyboard. Okay, once you see your offset, you click on enter. Okay, and you type 1988 and hit on enter again. Then automatically you can see if I hover my cursor up, then it's going to offset upward. Then if I come down where I want it to be, then it's going to offset it down. Then I will left click. Okay, can you see this is the new grid line I just created? This is fine. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my grid line, or I'm going to create my column. I'll pick this column now. I'll hit on copy. I'll go to my own and hit on copy. You can also type copy on your keyboard. I'll pick it from the center and I want a column to be at this point. I want a column at grid C. Okay, I will place a column here at the center. You can easily place your column the way you want it to be. Okay, then you go to wherever you want your column to be again. As for me, I would like to have a column at this point as well. I'll place a column here. Okay, I'll place a column at that point. So let's introduce our 450 by 225 column now. So what I'm going to do is I will easily go to my rectangle tool again. I'll pick my rectangle tool. Okay, once I pick my rectangle tool, I will select the first point and I will type 225. Okay, and I'll click on tab and I will type 450. Okay, and I'll hit on enter. Okay, if you measure this rectangle you just draw now, let me go to my annotate. I'm just trying to show you all this process. If you measure this from here to this point, you see that this is 225, and if you repeat your measuring linear now, measure from here to here now, you see that this is 450. Okay, then I will select this, but before I do that, let me locate the center of this column for easy placing, or let me see how that will be used. Okay, I can pick this from this angle. Okay, let me select, I think I need a column of 450 at this point. Select this one and hit on delete. Okay, then I will pick this 450 column here. Once I pick it, I will rotate it. I will rotate this. Okay, I can rotate it to this point. Can you see that? And I will select it and I will pick on, I'll use my copy tool. I will copy it from here. Am I supposed to copy it from there? Let me select it again. Copy from here, and I will place it at this point. Can you see that? But we need to do something. Don't forget, you need to select this your column and make sure they are on your column. Okay, your column layer is very important. If not, your, what is it called? Let's look for our column. This is our column. Okay, this is our column. If not, your proto structure will not be able to locate it or recommend it as a column. Okay, then I will place it at this point. Okay, can you see that? I have one here as well. Let me see, I will also place one here. Okay, I'm able to snap this point and trace it down. That is why you can see I'm doing this now. If not, I would have decided to pick it at the center. This is fine here. Okay, then I have another 450 column at this point. Okay, I will place this down. I want to use a 450 column here. I will select this one and delete it. Can you see that? I can select this one now and delete it. Okay, then I will select this column from here and I will hit on copy. I will pick it from this point and I will place it to this point. Okay, we are done with that as well. Then I will also use the 450 column at this point. Let me go to this place. Okay, then I will select this one now and I will delete it. Okay, I will select this one now and hit on copy and I will pick it from this angle. Let me see the angle I'm going to pick it from. I can pick it from this angle and I will snap this angle easily. I'll take it down and I will drop it at this point. Can you see that? Okay, make sure you are doing the right thing is very important. Then I will also use a 450. The reason why I decided to use a 450 column at all these points is because of the span. If you look at this span, it's just too much, so it's better you try and be on the safer side. Hit on copy, pick it from this point and place it here. Okay, can you see that? Let me place this one, copy or move. This time around, let me use my move and I'll pick from here and I'll stop it at this point. Okay, can you see that? So you have to check around and make sure all your columns are placed where you want them to be. Okay, this is a column here, I have a column here, I have a column here. Okay, this is fine. Okay, I'll check around and see that all my columns are well placed, are well positioned. Okay, that now depends on me, so that is why you need to be very careful. Okay, I think I'm okay with my columns position. Okay, I want to have a beam at this point as well, so all I'm going to do is let me see. Okay, I think this is fine. So all you need to do now is to delete all these. You don't need all this particular one here. Okay, you don't need it. You delete them, select them and delete them. Okay, delete all these, delete all these. Okay, select this one and hit on delete. Okay, select this one and hit on delete. Okay, so what you need to do again is you select this one now, select this one, right click and say select similar. So once you select similar, then it's going to select all similar or similar column. Then you click on explode. Okay, you explode it, you click on enter, then you can easily select all this center one here. Okay, you select all this one and delete it. Okay, and this one will still remain there, you don't need to delete that. Okay, select all this one and hit on delete. Okay, select this one and hit on delete. Sorry, select this one and delete. Select this one and delete it. Select this one and delete it. Select this one and delete it. Delete. Okay, one after the other. Don't need it. Okay, delete it. Select this one and delete it. Okay, select this one and delete it. So you select all this one, select this one also, delete it, select this one and delete it. Okay, select this one, delete. Okay, you select all this. Okay, assuming we use a different line and not our wall line, if I select similar now, okay, all the line or all the wall will be selected, which I don't want it to be. So you select this one and also delete it. Okay, so you check round, okay, you delete them. Okay, I think, okay, we still have some here. Delete all this. Okay, delete all this. Okay, you check around, you can easily see what you have done. Okay, select this one also and do the same thing for it. Okay, delete this one as well. Okay, this is your structural or your general arrangement. Okay, this is your structural element arrangement. Okay, I can delete this dimension. I don't need the dimension here. Okay, now you can leave all this window and you can delete it. Okay, but let me just leave it there to save our time. I don't need this here. I don't need all this here. I'll just leave all this. I'll leave all this. Okay, so let me just check all my columns. I think all my columns are well positioned now. Okay, this is one here. Okay, I'll delete it. Okay, sorry, I've deleted my grid line. Okay, I will select this one and delete it. I will select this one and delete it. Okay, okay, can you see that we have successfully created our general arrangement? Okay, all you need to do, you just save your project. I've easily typed my Ctrl S, or you go to your file, go to your AutoCAD icon, you click on save. Okay, in my next video we'll see how we can export this drawing or this general arrangement from AutoCAD directly to ProtaStructure. Okay, thank you very much. See you in my next video.